Xero can now give you deeper, more powerful insights into your business. In this video, we'll take a look at the advanced analytics inside Xero, and you'll see how you can create customized scorecards for your business. Let's take a look together. As you can see here, I've got early access to analytics powered by Syft, so let's jump in and take a look. Here's a performance overview dashboard. You can see there's a lot of graphs. So a lot of really useful information for you to track about your business. And all of these graphs are interactive, so just hover your cursor over them. You can see various figures and you can drill down into the figures. So let's say we want to drill down into September 2025 figures for income. And we can drill down further into a specific day if we want. And here's our income for the 6th of September. And we can see exactly what that's made up of. So pretty useful. Let's just go back. As you hover your cursor, you'll see 3 dots. These are the, this is the action menu. And this is where you can edit the widgets. You can change the widget sizes. So this one is a medium horizontal. We could change the size if we want. Let me change that back. You can compare against prior year figures or none. You can change the style of the graph. So you could show a line graph, a bar graph, or you could just show numbers if that's what you prefer. We'll go with bar graph here. You can choose how many periods you want to display. And you can change the color theme as well. This is a premium feature. You'll see a few premium features sprinkled throughout. We can delete the widget, or we can just close. And if there's anything that you don't think is particularly important for your business, or you're not really bothered about tracking, you can remove it. So here, operating expenses, we don't have any data for this, so I'll just remove this. Along the top, we can change the frequencies of all of these graphs. So currently I'm looking at monthly, but if you want a quarterly view, you can change the frequency. Let's change it back to monthly. We can specify how many columns we want to display. We're showing a 3-column view, so that's the maximum number of columns you'll see. So if you've got 3 small widgets together, you'll see 3 columns across. But we could change that view to 2 or 4 columns. And you could add additional widgets. This is really useful. It helps you customize this dashboard view. You'll see we've got a lot of different widget categories, and for each category, there's loads of different graphs that you can add. So I'd like to add a widget for my customer sales. And again, as you drill down further, you'll see more and more different metrics that you can add. So you can really get specific and show the information that's relevant just for your business. Here, I just want to see customer sales. And there we've got a new widget at the bottom. Let's drag that and put it at the top. And let's just move total expenses under total income. Great. In the top right, you'll see settings. This is where you can select display options for your graph. So you can show decimals or hide them if you want. You can show a key on your graph. You could show or hide the currency symbol. And you can show a logo in the top left if you want as well. We can change the date format, the accounting basis for these graphs on this page, and you can change the currency. That is a premium feature. Now, in addition to graphs, there are also 2 other tabs at the top. Let's take a look at Analyze. This is where you can access business health scorecards. So these scorecards contain a number of metrics, and each metric contributes to an overall health score. So you can see at the top, I've achieved 5 of my targets, giving me an overall health score for the year of 50%. I could change that view, let's say to a quarterly view, and we can see for this quarter, the overall health score is a lot better. So our business health score is made up of these metrics. And you can see for each metric whether or not you've met the target. You see a green tick, that's good. Red cross, we haven't met the target. And you can see on the right hand side how important each metric is for your overall health score. And we'll have a look at levels of importance soon. Now, if one of these metrics isn't that important to you, you're not really bothered about tracking it, you don't think it's important for your overall health score, you can remove it. So let's say debt to equity. I don't think that's particularly important for me. I'll remove that row. And that's going to affect my overall health score because we've just removed a metric that was contributing to it. And you can add additional metrics if you want. Click Add Row, and you can create your own custom metrics, or you can use a number of pre-built metrics. And you'll see again, we've got quite a few different categories, and each category, you'll see a lot of different metrics. So I'd like to add a metric to show the percentage growth in my sales revenue. Let's add that. And you can see we've achieved that metric. Now, for my business, that's a really important metric for me to track. So I want to change that importance from medium. Click the action menu and edit the metric. So this is where you can edit your equation. If you're creating a brand new metric from scratch, you can set up your equation here, specify the format of that metric, if it's a number of days, a percentage, and manage your criteria is where you can select the importance of that metric. Now there are 4 levels of importance: low, medium, high, and critical. And as they get higher, they contribute more to the overall health score. So this particular metric, I'm going to give it a high importance. And it's a favorable metric when it increases. So if the growth of my sales revenue increases, that's a favorable metric. And done. So as you can see, we have a lot of pre-built metrics in here. You can also create your own custom metrics. So if there's a metric that's important for your business, but you can't find it in the pre-built metrics, you can create it. And you can also create it based off external data. And we're going to have a look at external data a little bit later, and then we'll add a custom metric to this scorecard. Now you'll notice most of these metrics sit under a heading. So total expenses sits under core profitability. I'd like a heading for growth in sales revenue. So let's add a row very quickly. We'll create a heading row, call that sales. And you can drag and drop any of these rows around if you need to move them. So this is our overall business health scorecard. Click Manage Scorecards, and you can add new ones from a template. So we've got 4 templates here: cash management, profitability, working capital, in addition to the business health scorecard. I'd like to add a cash management scorecard. Cash is something that's vital for my business. I need to keep a close eye on it. And on the right, you get a bit of a preview of what metrics it's going to display. And we can see here's our cash management scorecard. Things are looking good. I've got an excellent overall score, and you can see exactly which metrics are included. So debtor days for me, that's a very important metric. I'm going to change that importance. Let's edit that and make that high importance. And again, any metrics that you don't need, you can remove them and you can add additional metrics. Data input is where you can add external data, non-financial data in here. And you can input this data on a monthly or daily basis. And here you'll see some recommended metrics. These have been recommended by Xero based on my industry. And you can change your industry in settings. So you can see I've selected professional services. So those recommended metrics are ideal for a professional services business. But if I select a different industry, you'll see we've got different recommended metrics. Now, you don't have to use these metrics. You can remove them. You can add new ones if you want. I am going to add a new metric. Net Promoter Score is something that's really important for me to track in my business. So let's add that. This is going to be a number. Choose the aggregation method, summative or balance. You can hover over the I for a bit of information. I just want to see a monthly balance. So I'll select balance. And we'll apply. So now I've got a Net Promoter Score metric, and I can just click into these cells and manually type in those figures. So let me do that, and I'll be back in a second. So as you can see, I've entered some figures for my NPS each month. I'd like to add this metric to my business health scorecard. So let's go back to Analyze and our health scorecard. And you can see we're currently showing the business health scorecard. Let's add a new metric here. Click Add Row, and I'll add a custom metric. So give it a name. We'll call this NPS. Create an equation. So this could be a formula. Here it's a very simple formula. I'm going to use my external data metric that I've added, my Net Promoter Score, and I want my current year figures. The format is going to be a number. I don't want any decimals. This is high importance for my business, so I don't need to change that criteria. And this is a favorable target if it's anything above 0. So let's set a target here. So the target is 0, and that target is achieved when it's above 0. And you can see this quarter we've met that target. You can export these scorecards on these dashboards. Click Export. You can export to PDF, Excel, email. If you upgrade, you can also export to WhatsApp, Slack, and Microsoft Teams. Let's have a look at this in PDF. And there's our health scorecard, a nice looking PDF. Let me close this. Let's go back to our graphs. We've got a really nice looking dashboard. You can share that dashboard. Need to enable sharing. That is a premium feature, as you can see. So I can't share this, but again, we can export it to PDF or email. When you export your dashboard as a PDF, you can choose landscape or portrait. And again, let's just take a quick look at this. And to go back to your main Xero page, your dashboard, click the home icon at the top. And we're back on the dashboard. So to access analytics, you probably won't see this early access information at the top, but you can access analytics from the reporting menu. go to All Reports. And here in the Report Center, you can see a section, Analytics powered by Syft. And you can see we've got lots of different things we can have a look at. And you can click the star to make it a favorite, to make it a lot quicker and easier to access from any screen. And I'd love to know, have you had a look at analytics already? And let me know in the comments what sort of metrics you'll be using to track the performance of your business. Thanks for watching.